Hello, and welcome to the RetroMacCast with James and John, where in each episode we'll stroll down the Macintosh memory lane. We'll discuss older Macintosh computers, collecting all things related to the Mac and Apple computer, and current topics from the perspective that only a couple of old Mac fans can provide.
All right. Good evening, John.
Good evening, James.
How are you tonight?
Good. Happy we're starting half an hour earlier as a regular thing now. Just let these old bones get to bed at a decent time.
Yep. No, I guess it works out fine if people can remember. I'll use that as the excuse for the low turnout tonight. Welcome, everybody.
We've got Garth. We've got Michael Mulhern. He was in the process of scanning your computer from November of 1983. His scanning is greatly appreciated by all.
Well, who else do we
Good
need?
stuff.
That's all we need. So
That's it.
that's good.
That's right. The
All
important
right.
people are here, right? Yeah.
Did I mention last week that I finally got the air conditioning guys out of here?
Oh, fantastic.
That's why
I don't know if we talked about it or not.
I was able to. I had to move stuff out of the way so you could get up into the ceiling and.
Oh, right. Yeah, remember you
I
had the encroaching shelves.
Yes.
It was like you were going to be slowly crushed by a wall of old Macs. Yeah.
Yeah. That's nice to have the room in it.
Just in time for not needing air conditioning, right? Yeah. It's all about the timing.
All right, let's light the candle. Here we go.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
And let's see here. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the RetroMacCast with James and John. This is episode 667 for November 20th, 2023. Good evening, John.
Good evening, James.
We are back 2 weeks in a row. It's been uncommon. Uncommon.
Yeah, uncommon. Yeah.
Back to back. Can we do 3 in a row next week?
Let's give this a shot.
I think we got to do our holiday gift giving advice episode next week.
That sounds great. Yes.
We usually wait too long.
Right, and then it's too late for people to order. Right.
We do it sometime in January because we procrastinate and of little value. But this week, too early to talk about that. So instead, we're going to talk about John's latest Mac setup. Not just any Mac setup. Not his home setup, not his home office, but his work office.
My work.
And he doesn't
work setup. Yes.
Well, you don't use a Mac at work, right?
Alas,
for your actual work.
There is a Mac at work. There is an old Mac Pro in the back that I've managed to hold on to with dearly. Even though they keep wanting to try to take it away, I finally got a vinyl cutter that's hooked up to it. So I have a real reason to keep it now. I have to guys, I've got a vinyl cutter. The software's for the Mac. I got to keep this Mac. So
they won't be able to take your Mac unless they pry it from your cold, dead hand.
Absolutely. Right.
Yes. Now he's got a retro display Mac, which so we'll talk about that and what it is, what it was, the history, because there's a history of these displays, which actually is the start of yours and my history. So,
absolutely.
That's a fun story to retell. All right, so we got that coming up. And in a second, we'll talk about eBay finds here just after a short break. Okay.
See, Michael has mentioned that the CD set that remember from the auctions a few weeks ago. I mentioned that Michael got those, so he's they're on their way.
He says it's departed the rebel colonies. Does that mean it's en route to the prison colonies?
No. It's we are the rebel colonies.
I know, but isn't he the prison prison colony.
Well, that's a good point. It's going from the rebel colonies to the penal colony. So yeah, I guess.
All right, let's throw up some eBay finds. Okay, let's go in 3, 2, 1. Time now for the eBay finds. Last week there was the Apple branded Parker pen in original box, and that one is still available for $95. We also had the very nice collection featuring the Macintosh 512K, and it included pretty much everything but the box, right? There was no box. There was a
Right, yeah, no
Macintosh
box, but the bag was there, which arguably, actually, I think more important than the bag, than the box.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
But it had all the software documentation, and
yeah.
it was in running condition. They wanted $600 for that, and well, they still want $600. They did not sell.
Ah,
That was the
okay.
buy now. There's a make an offer. I mean, surely somebody offered like, $450, $500. It's worth that. Anyway, think about it. Let's see. And then, the Power Macintosh 8600. This one did have the box, styrofoam, and looked to be in awesome condition. And a nice little USB and Firewire card built in there. They also wanted $400. Oh no, they wanted the other one. What was the other one? They wanted 400 for this
right.
one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This one did not sell, so it's been relisted.
Same price or
yeah, same
lower?
price.
Okay,
Same price, $400. No make an offer on that one. Okay, this week we'll begin with this. The title says excellent Apple Macintosh 2FX workstation Jan AI shock rack. I don't know what that means. Let's read a little bit here and see what we can learn. It says if someone wants it without the shock rack flight case, I can lower the price to $1,995 and pack everything separately, which will be 2 very large, expensive partial shipments. There's a high-end 19-inch Sony CRT, which is 97 pounds by its own. There's a fixed frequency high-end Nubest video card, extended keyboard.
this is so interesting.
Tested recently, has 0 hours on it since 2003. Very light use between 91 and 2003. I'm trying to see what else here. There's essentially a 2FX that's been built into a rack with a ton of packing foam.
Yeah, but the other interesting thing is it's almost I'm going to say rebranded, but you know what I mean. It's so like the monitor has everything's got these kind of blue stickers. So
yeah,
the like the monitor, it says something 9600 New England Digital. Can you read what that top
yeah, it's
word
it
is?
says, like the CPU says direct to disk post pro. There's got this blue stripe, and the
Right.
trackball is blue.
The trackball is blue, same shade of blue, and then the monitor has this New England Digital. So this had to have been like a workspace station for a specific purpose, right?
Yeah, I think it's sound production.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know. Post pro makes me think of like post production.
I was almost wondering if it was like
video.
portable video or something, production or something, because it does come in this amazing case. We're talking custom cut foam to hold the monitor, to hold everything in place. So it's got like kind of 3 tiers. It's got the monitor on top, the computer below it with a tray, pull-out tray for the keyboard and trackball, and then a drawer on the bottom. All told, this thing's got to be pretty tall, especially as big as that monitor is.
Yeah.
All right, so
it does look like you could just wheel this thing. It's got wheels on it. It's like a whole big cabinet.
Yeah,
You could just seal it up and ship it or wheel it onto a plane.
So looking at the back of the computer, I do see
Mhm.
it's got a video card, and it's got what's probably what do you think that is? Just serial cards? Do you think this was, like you said, if this was for some sort of audio thing, I could see that maybe being a MIDI setup, perhaps? I wish they mentioned what kind of software is on this thing.
So there's a company that says Lawson's Productions. So if there's
Okay, all
sound
right.
or video, would people at this kind of computer, how much video could you do? I don't know that you could
Oh, I don't
back
know. Yeah,
then.
good point. Okay,
Yeah.
so looking at
Oh.
the one of the pictures of one of the cards that's inside is New England Digital Corp. So it is.
Mhm.
Obviously, this was a company if they're making their own cards, and that is the card that I was wondering if it was two serial connectors in the back. If you look
Mhm.
at pictures of the card, it looks pretty substantial.
Yeah, that's impressive.
I can't tell what it is looking at all the chips and everything on this. Looks like
So the
it's
other
got its
clue,
own CPU.
the other clue
Yes.
is stenciled on the side of the case. It says Tag Audio
Oh,
16.
well, there you are. There you go.
So
Okay.
makes me feel this was involved in some kind of audio
Interesting.
production. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So there's a video in the listing. Did you see that?
Oh, I did not.
It says the
No.
ultimate Apple Macintosh 2FX workstation unearthed after 20 years. So yeah, there's some screenshots in there that show like a mixing board or something on the
Okay.
screen.
All right.
Um
It's been in stores for
and
20 years. I sure hope the battery wasn't in there. Or
it
if
was
it
like a
wasn't.
$20,000 2FX workstation in the beginning.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, you could watch the video and learn more about it. What do they want for all
Buy it
this?
now. Wow. Of $2,495.
Mm-hmm.
Local
Be a
pickup
lot of
only
fun. Yeah.
is what it says up top. Los Angeles, California.
I mean, it's more of a curiosity,
Sure. Sure.
you wouldn't be using this for what originally they use it for, but cool nonetheless. And that case is awesome. Okay, let's look at the next thing.
All right. Next up we have are you do you have a bunch of old compact Macs and the one thing you're missing is mice? Well, here
Mhm.
you go. 80 Macintosh Platinum Mice,
Mm.
brand new.
Brand new, and
Brand new.
look. There's
Wait. Yes, and
three
there's still
quantities.
two available out of the three sold, two available. So that means that this person originally had 5 boxes of 80 mice per box.
Yeah,
Price $2,099. Buy it now.
which isn't a
And
bad
they've
deal.
sold 3 of these so far. Yeah,
It's like
because how often have you run across like a Mac Plus or earlier, and the thing it's missing is the mouse? It actually happens way more than you would expect. Of course, these are the platinum mice, though. They're going to look kind of out of place on a 512 or earlier.
yeah,
But
you'd want to
still,
use them on a plus, a late model plus. But that's a little over $26 a mouse. Those mice are at least worth double that, right?
yeah. Yeah.
They sell, so you could potentially double your money here.
And then, again, brand new.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'd
Pretty
love to know
crazy.
the story behind these.
Right.
Around.
What's in this old closet? It had to go something along those lines, right? Oh, what is this?
400 mice. It's just 400 mice.
Oh.
Just break them up into quantities of 80 and sell them. 80. Seems like
Oh my gosh.
quantities of 10. I guess they want to go, they want to go big. Figure somebody needs 80 of them.
All right, but if you look at the box's package, and obviously this is the box.
Well, that's what I don't. Yeah, but
right?
I don't know because the mice. If you bought that mouse like as a replacement part,
I'm wondering if these were how they were shipped to whatever plant was making the compact Macs, right?
I don't know. I don't know the story. Yeah, it's weird. Anyway, kind of a cool deal if you're in the market for 80 mice or 160 because there's still 2 of them. left. Okay, let's move on to this one. Occasionally, I'll sort on stuff in the vintage Mac auction category on eBay just by price, and this one shot
Hmm.
right to the top. I'll hold off on what the price is for a second. Let's figure out what this thing is first. The title says, what's it say? Just Macintosh. Is that the title? My goodness. The description says, this is a one-of-a-kind piece, very rare. I will eventually get some measurements of this as well. This is a local pickup. If you have any questions, contact me. Thank you. Okay. Well, what we're looking at here, and we'll take a look at these pictures. I'll zoom in here a little bit, but it's a wall hanging with a giant 6-color Apple logo, registered trademark, and then authorized dealer printed below. So you got the 6-color, and it's on like a gray background, and it's a big circle. And the thing is, the dimensions, it's huge, right? I mean, it's got to be like 5 feet in diameter or something. I mean, it takes up a good portion of that wall.
It takes up a big, if you're going, if that's your standard 8-foot wall, then we're talking, 5-6 feet.
Yeah, maybe even 6. Yeah.
Diameter.
Now the question is,
right.
Like, what is it made of? Is it a carpet? Is it woven?
So
it's
to me, it looks like it is screen printed on fabric. Is what it looks like to me.
There's definitely a texture, a woven texture to
yes.
it.
Yeah.
Which gives it some cool visual interest, and then the 6 colors of the Apple logo really stand out. I have never seen anything like this.
Right. So it says authorized dealer. So I'm guessing this was custom made by some local authorized dealer somewhere. I know it's got the registered Apple trademark, but I think it was probably that store, that dealer had it made, and it's a one-off. Yeah.
It does have a border as well. It looks like a black.
It does. It does. It looks like it could have possibly been actually a rug.
Yeah.
Versus a wall hanging.
But there's also there's some relief to the whole thing, like it's kind of it sticks off the wall, right? Like it's rounded. It's got like it's a button or something. You know, see what I'm saying?
Well, I think that's just it's just the way it's attached to the wall. You know, if you look at it, it's got 2 pinch points at the top where the where it looks like it's nailed or whatever the connectors are. So I think the rest of it is
it's just
correct. It's flat. It's just not hanging completely flat against the wall. Right.
Yeah.
Like maybe it was rolled up for a while.
The reason why this shot to the top when you sort these auctions by highest price to low is because they want the buy it now of $39,000 for this.
Right.
$39,000.
So I looked at because the seller information, Mac is in the title of their, but it took me a minute to see it's actually Macaw Poncho. They don't sell it. They have no other Macintosh stuff for sale. They have some industrial equipment and some dolls and stuff. It's a kind of a weird mix of
stuff.
Yeah, of stuff. Storm shelters, shelters, industrial shredders, and ventriloquist dummies. Don't ask. I don't know.
You can make an offer, and
you can make an offer.
This is impressive. Just the scale, right? The size of it itself. I mean, it looks very high quality too. Very well done. It's not $39,000, but you know, I don't know what the price. What this kit? It's too bad it's not got an old fashioned auction for it. But okay, well,
I think that
it's what
will probably be up there next week. When we check back in. Yes,
probably. All right. Well, we'll
probably.
See. All right. Anybody bid on it? Anybody make an offer? Actually.
Okay. I didn't say it while we were doing the recording part, but 50 Shades of Beige. His comment of "Where are the polka dots?" Brilliant. just, yeah, that was good.
Oh, because of the eBay seller that's uses the
Yes,
polka dots.
known for the polka dots. Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. Let's record the next segment. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. So tell this story. Oh, let's tell the story first.
Yeah, sure. Okay. We'll hide it. There you go. Hide it. Fine.
We have to go
Let's tell
back
the story.
to probably 2006, sometime before December of 2006 when we started this podcast.
Uh-huh. Yep.
John used to work in what did they call it?
It was the Parks Photo Lab. I was a graphic
Parks
designer.
Photo
It
Lab.
was a Parks Photo Lab. It was the place on base to get.
I thought wasn't there another name for it? Didn't they call it the multimedia center? Or
the
something
multimedia
or-
center. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Well,
what I
that was our section. Was the
Your section.
multimedia center within the Parks Photo Lab? Yes.
I came in there. I had a work thing I needed to get done with some footage for something I was doing, and I saw John's little shrine to Macintosh.
That's right. Yep. At the time, there I had a setup very similar to what's behind me right now with a original iMac and a compact Mac. Yep.
So that triggered a conversation, which
Right.
I'm sure
right.
it does with a lot of people that would come here. That's the whole point of
Of
it.
course,
People
yeah.
remember that stuff, and when you think about it, 2006. How many years ago was that? That stuff that you had out there wasn't really that old. I mean, it was old, but now it's
Well, the
really
iMac,
old.
the iMac wasn't that old, right?
No,
Yeah, the iMac at that
less than
point.
10
Yeah.
years. So we talked about it. So we quickly learned that each of us had our own little collections, and actually, it may have been even earlier in 2006 because it was a while.
It was because it
before-
was before you went on your
my cruise
on your Mac cruise, right?
Mania cruise,
Yes.
where Leo Laporte was on board, and he did a podcast on board, and that was when I got the idea about doing a podcast centered around collecting Macs, and
Sure.
what we've been doing now for so long. And so the best advice Leo gave was, you want to do this, but don't go alone. Nobody wants to hear just one person talk, and it's kind of tough to do a show by yourself. So it's like, well, I know somebody that might be interested, and came back, saw John, and it didn't take any convincing, and
Right. Yeah.
we were off and going. So all because John had his little display. I would have never met him. I mean, got to know him, obviously.
Yeah.
So then you moved into a different building. I don't remember what year that was, but you set up another setup.
Right. Yeah. So many years later, and a few jobs later, after we lost the contract at the Photo Lab. I spent a year as an Apple repair guy and as a graphic designer elsewhere. Ended up back on base and had a Mac Plus. Had a big enough cubicle. For a Mac Plus again, and then had that for a few years until I ended up in a smaller cubicle, and then finally, just last year, ended up back in a bigger cubicle. So of course I had the desk real estate to set up another little shrine.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So my current setup, I've got.
So this is the top half of
this is the top half, right? So this is the top of the cubicle wall. I've got a nice introducing the Macintosh for the rest of us. A Peaks, Pokes, and Pointers Beagle Brothers poster. I've got a Think, with the takeoff of the IBM sign, but Think with the Apple 6 colors.
Is that an original
Got one of the
Peaks, Pokes, and Pointers poster?
It is not. It is not. I do have originals, but no, that is just a recreation.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's the same as the Think poster because I'm not crazy and I don't have that much money.
Yeah.
I do have one of the little gosh, I'm trying to remember the name of the company. The does the little Mac classics and stuff like that. You've got one too,
I actually don't have one of those.
you don't have one of those. Oh yeah.
There's something
So
mini bot or something
yes,
like that.
yes, something like that, and
Yeah.
it's great. It's this little tiny Macintosh Classic. It's got little
Mhm.
arms and legs. It's
Mhm.
adorable. Love it. So yeah, I've
What the
got that kind
what's
of
the
at the top.
calculator? That old Sears calculator. That's not Mac
That
related, right? It's just old.
no, it's not. It's just old, and it still
Yeah.
works. I've got an
Oh
old.
wow.
It's one of the one with the red
Mhm.
LED display on
Mhm.
it. Yeah, yeah, still works. Love it. So that's kind of at the top, and then underneath I've got my actual Mac Plus that's there.
Mhm.
Um, with some appropriate books for the fact that I do graphic design. So I've
Yeah.
got Zen and the Art of Macintosh. I've got a couple of books that I picked up just this year at Kansas Fest. Macintosh desktop typography and Macintosh desktop design. I've got a printout of the one of the Warhol Macintoshes.
Mhm.
One of his woodcut uh, print ones that you see, and
Mhm.
then up on the back wall, I've got one of the. It's what's the poster? Things come apart. So in this particular one, the artist has taken apart like down to the screws
Uh-huh.
a Mac Classic, laid everything out very nicely, and has a photograph of all the internal components. Just a very nice poster. So,
Yeah.
so that's kind of what that is. And then, of course, on the Mac itself, the Mac is running off of a Blue SCSI.
Mhm.
So that's nice and quiet. Very easy to keep running to upgrade software on there. Not that I'm obviously upgrading a
Mhm.
ton of software on this thing. Um, it's completely tricked out. Mac Plus as tricked out as a Mac Plus can be, which means it's got 4 meg of RAM,
Mhm.
running System 7.1. And again, because I do graphic design, I did make sure that I've got a version of Photoshop and Illustrator running on here.
Mm.
Photoshop version 0.63 beta,
0.63, a beta. Wow.
0.63, and Illustrator version 1.1, and also, believe it or not, Illustrator 3 will run on a Mac Plus, but
Hmm.
Illustrator 1.1 runs quite nicely. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, and I forgot. I mentioned
Mhm.
my favorite Macintosh book of all time. We've talked about it on the show before. We have even interviewed the author of it. It's Zen and the Art of Macintosh by Michael Green. Fantastic book. The PDFs have got to be out there somewhere. If not, I might be able to get it out there somewhere. It's uh, it's just a fantastic book on the
Mhm.
Mac. It came out sometime in '86. Just fantastic read. Find it if you can. It's not that hard. Love it.
We interviewed the author.
Yes.
I
You
have
don't even remember.
no
Yes. Yes.
recollection.
Yeah.
I'm
Right
I'm
now,
I'm
somewhere Derek is saying what episode number it
Oh, you know what
was
it was?
that
Is
we.
because you did it without me. That's why
Oh,
I know.
is that it? Okay. All
Yeah, it
right.
was
Okay.
episode 311 on January 6th, 2014.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's worth it worth listening to just because it was great talking to him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Neat. Well, that's a sharp little
Yeah.
flip. So how many? Yeah. What?
Oh yeah, so like you said, you have something like this to get the comments, and I
Yes.
do get great comments, and also I have a fresh clock battery in it, so I do
Mhm.
have my after dark is set up to do toasters, but also to have a clock on it, so it is you know kind of a crazy way to have a desk clock, but that's kind of what I use it for on a daily basis. So I've always
Right.
got the toasters right there running by me, and I can easily see the time. So there you go. It has some use.
And also, you get a fair amount of traffic.
I
People
do.
come by,
Yes.
and setting up these old Macs in your office are kind of like bait, right?
Right.
To
Yes.
try
Yes.
to catch
To find
more
my
Macs.
people.
Well, yeah. I mean, has it ever led to somebody walking in there and says, I've got one of those. You want it?
No. I have had some other people. It's like I've got an old computer.
Yeah.
Do you want an old computer? And I'm like, no, I cannot branch out into collecting any other kind of computers. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, but no, unless it was a Next. Obviously, I would have to make an exception for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, keep fishing, and maybe get the right person to walk in and get you the right kind of old computer.
And you can tell how old somebody is too, because they'll either come in and go, "Oh my gosh, I remember those from high school," or "Wow, I remember those from college," or "What is that thing?
Yeah.
Is that a real computer?"
All righty. Let's get to the news. Let's go. Let's see. I guess I need to pop my screen up there. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. It's time now for the news. If you don't have the luxury of having the old classic hardware like you just saw, then you've got to do some emulation magic. It just, I don't know, coincidentally in the last few weeks there's some walkthroughs or discussions of emulators on two of the bigger Macintosh websites, 9to5Mac. Ben Lovejoy wrote System 7 Mac emulator lets you play with a 1991 Macintosh on the web. We've seen these before, right? Emulators that have been adapted to work through a browser interface.
Right. There was the Infinite Mac that we covered a few weeks ago. But this was a different one.
This is another one. This one is based on
Mini VMac,
VMac, which
John
and I were talking about it.
Right.
We were talking about it before we did the show. The originator, the creator of Mini VMac, is actually missing. Has been out of contact for a while now, a couple of years.
Early 2021. Yes.
Yeah, which is very sad, and there's been no actual confirmation of his whereabouts. A lot of speculation that he passed. So the website's still up, right? And I guess it's scheduled to go down if nobody pays fees. But anyway, it's sort of a sad thing because Mini VMac has been so monumental. I mean, it was kind of the original great emulator. Well, this Leonardo Russo used Mini VMac and then built a web-based System 7.01 emulator. And well, I can just punch it right here and let's just see how this thing works. Boots up and there's your screen and voila.
Could you go up to the Apple and do about this Mac just to see?
There you go, Macintosh Plus with 4 megs of RAM, kind of just like the one you have on your desk there at work. But you're running, you're probably running a higher system.
I'm running 7.1 versus 7.01, so yeah.
But I don't. There's nothing. Can you do anything? There's no. There's a boot disk, and then there's no hard drive.
Yeah. You would think that maybe we need to talk to the person just about like getting Mac Paint or something on their disk image.
Maybe that's coming. I mean, it's probably a work in progress. But right now, I'm clicking around. At least there's teach text.
Right.
So looks like it, and well, can I save a file? I guess I can. We'll put it right on the boot volume, and there it is. So yeah, looks pretty functional.
Yeah,
very responsive, and so hopefully it keeps on going, and they can add apps and stuff. So that well, you can see the URL there. It's like lrusso.github.io. Well, it's kind of a long URL, but we'll post it in the show notes. And then the other emulation story was over on Apple Insider by none other than Chip Loader. How to use the Basilisk 2 System 7 emulator on Mac OS. So not in a browser, standalone app, Basilisk 2. We've all heard of Basilisk 2, great emulator. And there's a very detailed walkthrough on using Basilisk 2. All the things you can do with it, what you need to do it, where you go, all that stuff. So take a look over on appleinsider.com. All right. And one more thing. Mac27.net is the collection homepage of what's the person's name? I want to say
Oh
it's
gosh,
John. I think
I'm
it's
trying to
John.
remember.
How did you find out about this?
It was on Reddit. Somebody had posted
Hmm.
up their collection, but and they had a link to their website, and it's as far as like cataloging your collection in a very nice way.
Mhm.
So they've got great pictures, but everything in their collection has its own subpage on their
Yeah.
thing. So like if you hover over Power Max, you can go to a website about that Mac. It's got the history, tech specs, pictures of
Yeah.
it
Interesting.
from the person's collection. And one thing about the collection is they've got a ton of the boxes. So it's just very thorough. It's it's got like unboxing photos. It's got teardowns of things. It just struck me as a very nicely done website for this sort of thing. Something that I wish I had the patience to do.
Oh, you and me both. This is
but
exactly
don't.
what I had in mind
Yeah.
that I was going to do someday, really with the aim of creating this. And then if I did part with the hardware at some point, well, I could always have
You'd
this.
still have a recollection, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Um, this is probably even more detail and more meticulous than I would have ever done. I mean,
Yeah. I
down to
mean, we're
the
talking.
individual
It's not
pictures.
just a simple picture or
Yeah.
anything. It's lots of pictures, lots of just lots of great information. Just
Mhm.
kudos to this person.
Yeah. Maybe we can get them to join us on this
Oh,
show
that'd be fun.
to walk us through this.
Yeah.
Mac
Talk about
27.
how long it took
Net.
to get all this, and
Oh my
share
God.
some other
Yeah.
pictures of their collection. Yeah.
I actually did start documenting and putting something up. And I think I did it. When I started doing it was back when, making your own web pages with page building packages was all the rage. And I think I
Yep.
used like it was either Claire's homepage or Adobe Page Mail or something like that, and started going. And I think I probably did a computer or two and then just gave it up because it's just too time consuming. It's a lot more fun to buy more stuff than it is to document what you have. So congratulations to Mac27.net. Okay. All right. Well, that about wraps it up. So next week, holiday episode.
We'll do our
advice.
retro gift guide.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you know what to leave hints for
Mm-hmm.
your family to get you for Christmas. Yes.
Yeah, thanks everybody for joining us on the chat. Let's do a proper sign off here for
Sure thing.
the audio version. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. That about wraps it up for another episode of the Retro Maccast. We will be back next week. We're going to shoot for 3 in a row, and we'll do our annual holiday episode. John and I will compile our top gifts for the Retro Mac fan. I'm sure there'll be some of the same things we always say you should buy.
Probably.
Maybe we'll
Yeah.
probably dig up some new stuff. There's always new stuff out there. Yeah. And then that'll lead us into the holidays. I imagine we'll get a show or 1 or 2 done in December. So
Yep. I'm not going anywhere. So
okay, neither am I. So
all right.
All right, and thanks everybody and joining us in the chat. If you want to join us while this thing is being recorded live, you should pop by on Monday evenings at
7:30.
now 7:30 Central. It's the new
Right.
time to come in live, but of course you can always just come in and watch the videos, which are much better at seeing what we're talking about, especially when John is showing his computer setup
That's
there at
right.
work.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So anything else? We good?
Nothing.
All right.
Nothing else.
Until next week. Remember, it's not old.
It's retro.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna contact
Mac 27. I'll see if I can find the original post on Reddit.
I have the email address, so
Okay, great.
yeah, I'll just contact them and see what's going on.
Retro Compute.
Bye all. All
Bye,
right.
guys.
We will we see y'all next week.
Yep.
We're gonna play a little music and play us out and a little graphics. See you later.
Thanks for listening to the RetroMacCast with James and John. Email listener comments and questions to retromaccast@gmail.com or post comments on our website at www.retromaccast.com.